All right, everybody, welcome back to the Real Estate Talk Show, your source for all things real estate. And I have my boyfriends here in studio.
Boyfriend's back.
Without laundry.
Yeah, without the laundry, that's right. I have Glen Peloso, Jamie Alexander. They're the owners of Peloso Alexander Interiors, of course, and my favorite designers. So, gentlemen, let's touch upon this article again where you're giving us great advice as to the things that will help us in terms of upgrades in our homes and the things that could actually hurt us. Now, you brought up a great point, Glen, and you said that you need to understand if you're thinking of selling within the next few years, your mindset's going to be very different than if you're planning on staying there for the next 15 to 20, right?
Yeah. I always say, who would have, when you're staying there for a good long time, there is no way that you're going to be able to figure out what is going to be in style, interesting, fun, on the cutting edge in 15 years.
I bet you two could, though.
Not in 15 years. I mean, as I've said to people, who would have thought 10 years ago that I could pick up my cell phone and change the heat in my house? But that's now currently true. So the things that are going to happen in the next little while, and when you look at, things like 3D printing and all of those kinds of things I think are going to be game changers. There's no way that we're going to be able to predict what's in 15 years. So in the time that you have now, make yourself happy.
Great.
The house is supposed to be there to facilitate your life. You're not supposed to be trying to facilitate the life of the house. So if you're going to stay for 15 years, just do all the things you love.
Love that. It's just, again, that's permission right there. Do whatever you want to.
The reality is, when we go out and buy, let's say, an automobile, oftentimes we don't buy the automobile that is most practical for our life. It happens to be the one that we like.
Right.
Sort of the same thing with the house. If you realize that this is the house I'm going to raise my kids in, and this is the house that I'm going to live in for however long, then spend the money. Enjoy it while you're there. Yeah. But the reality is, like you're saying, there is some that hurts you. And it hurts you because you've put too much money into something in particular.
You'll never recoup.
That you're not going to recoup at the time.
Okay.
So meaning, I'm moving out in 3 years, I'm moving out in 5 years. You've got to watch where you spend that money.
Be smart.
Be smart.
All right, well, let's go there. We talked about kitchen, bathrooms, renos, and of course, powder rooms as being absolute do's. Mm-hmm. How about this? An extra bedroom. Where are you guys going with that one?
Above a garage, maybe to redo the basement.
Yeah, so that you get an extra, as you know from anything that's on a real estate listing, if your house just went from 3 to 4 bedrooms, or went from 2 to 3, or from 1 to 2.
Yep, you will ask for more money.
Right, and you can get that money, and so that is a wise investment.
Okay, but that doesn't mean a little space underneath the stairs. Because sometimes in listings, they actually will say and call things bedrooms, and it's like, okay, that was a lie.
Right.
You get there and go, that is not a bedroom.
Well, it's a bedroom for someone you don't like.
That's right, pretty much, yeah.
But let's look at the opposite. So we have clients right now that have owned their condo for 15 years.
Right.
The equity, in the condo has quadrupled, literally 4 times what they paid for it is its value. And they were really, really worried about taking the 2-bedroom condo and making it a 1. And we said, well, let's talk about who's going to buy this space from you in the future. I know it has lots of square footage, but chances are it's going to be somebody in the same lifestyle you are in. You're probably not going to get, a family of 3 or a family of 4 looking at this condo. And B, there's so much equity in your house, even if you made the mistake of going from 2 to 1, it's going to be okay because it will never devalue that much.
Right.
So, on top of which they don't plan to sell. That was not part of their strategy.
They're not planning to sell ever because they love the view, and they spent some time looking for another condo. Let's just throw that in there to only find out why are we not keeping you in the one you love?
We are. Right.
Yeah. And so the 2 to 1 works.
Hashtag hire a designer.
Exactly.
See, another example of why. Okay, hardwood floors. You're saying it's a great thing.
It is.
Okay.
Hardwood floor it's the standard, let's say.
Okay.
I mean, really, rooms with carpets, we're really seeing the pushback on. We work with some developers that develop communities outside of Toronto, and they're great communities. And when we're developing the product with them, meaning designing particular series of townhomes or what have you, we're telling them the standard has got to be hardwood in those bedrooms. The standard has to be hardwood in the hallways. You have to get out of the mentality that carpet is okay. And really, you love to use that expression about the carpet and the mother cleaning, and
it's I keep saying that the evolution of hardwood changed. Many years ago, hardwood was a thing that meant every Saturday somebody had to get out the washing and waxing and polishing and do all that horrible things that people just hated, generally women at the time. And that's how carpet came to be very popular. Then all of a sudden we carpeted everything because it was 10 minutes to vacuum that thing, and then you could go to the club and hang out with your friends. Now the finishes on hardwood is a titanium finish, so it's really hard.
The choices are limitless.
Limitless, so
Yeah.
you're able to maintain it very, very easily, and it's a far more beautiful product.
Love
And
it.
just a tip on hardwood while we're going there is the less sheen, the better. So the less shiny it is, the better. Because if you ever noticed, the only time you really recognize the scratches is when that sunlight's coming in or that
Absolutely.
light is hitting that shine, you notice the scratches. So if you go with the lower sheen or possibly no sheen at all,
Or hand scraped.
or hand scraped, I mean, you're really not
For
seeing
sure.
those things that will happen to it.
Great tip. I love that. How about finished basement? That's a definite to do on your list.
It's a great thing to be able to do. I mean, it gives you all of that extra space that wouldn't normally be part of your house. And so doing something like finishing the basement is just increases the square footage. It gives you the opportunity for a media room. It does all of those kinds of things that, a buyer is going to go, wow, this is great. I have a whole other level of living.
Absolutely.
I would say adding to that is you have to be realistic about the basement renovation. And what I mean by that is we currently had a client, let's dig out the basement and let's make it deeper because they only had about 6'6".
They
and
wanted higher ceilings.
They wanted higher
Yeah.
ceilings. And, we're costing this all out. And let's say $40,000 to dig down. And then, great, you're going to have a really great media room and you're going to go from 6'6" to 8 feet ceilings. Wonderful. However, that kitchen upstairs,
It still looks terrible.
that still looks terrible. So you're gonna spend a whole lot in the basement to get a whole lot of
Right.
nothing in the spaces you live every day. So we had to change their mentality and say, listen, guys, every day you're going to live upstairs.
That's the hashtag hire designer.
There you got
It's
it.
being able to say, this is more valuable than that.
Truly, we
Saving
should
them
have went
time and effort and money. Holy.
truly we should have went to school to be counselors. We spent a lot of time
Well,
doing
we
that.
know that. That's a whole other segment for sure. Now, you're saying definitely landscape that yard.
It's
Curb
it's-
appeal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the curb appeal is very important. If you get it, you drive up to a house and you go, oh, it's very, the whole process, as I also used to say when we did take this house and sell it, it's an emotional experience. If I drive up to the house and I feel disappointed, already I'm at a -10. I somehow have to get that. You have to get me as a realtor and as a home. You have to get me to a +10 to want to make an offer. So I have 20 points to make. If I drive up and I go, wow, this looks great.
You want to go
I'm already
in.
at 3. Then you
Yeah.
only have to move me 7 points to make an offer.
That's
Do you know what I'm
right,
saying?
And the tip that I would give there is sometimes landscaping can take your whole budget for what you want to do inside. I mean, we recently worked with a client, and I know it sounds like a big number. They spent $100,000 on landscaping. And you may not have that much equity in your house or that much money to do so. But there's tips like making sure that at least the arrival is good. So the front door is painted a specific color, something that draws the eye right into the home, especially when you have those garages that sit proud of the house. Let's make that area at the front door urns, flowers, maintain your flower beds, make sure there's a good looking tree in the yard. Those little tips that you don't have to spend the hundreds of thousands, but really do make a big difference because they say, oh, remember that house with the red door?
Right.
Remember
And
that
it
house?
actually also
Yeah.
reflects that they care for their home. So that means
Exactly.
once you go inside, the
same
likeliness
thing.
is that they also take care of the inside like they do
For
the
sure.
outside. I love that.
In the backyard too, it just allows people to feel like I have twice as much house because
Yeah.
they look outside and go, there's a whole other living
That's
room
an
out there,
extension
another
of their
dining room
space.
out there, and it feels great.
Yeah, great idea. Okay, well, let's talk about the things that, of course, won't help you sell. I'm just going to run down these pools, which we all know as realtors, we talk all the time. If you buy a place with a pool, it's because you want a pool.
Right.
But the percentage of people that actually want one don't expect to actually get more money because you have a pool.
No,
Exactly.
There's two homes on the street that are identical except one has a pool. You're not going to get more for the pool. That's just
Right.
a reality. Sound systems. I thought that was interesting. So talk to me why, because people, were spending lots and lots of money on having these incredible sound systems.
It is a ton of money and it's an incredible sound system. But for most people, unless you're a true audiophile, they just don't understand it. So you say, well, I have these 2 speakers. Each one of these speakers cost $45,000. I have a $300,000 sound system. And, somebody else is going, well, I could have just got a Bose. I'd be fine with that. And they're $399
Sonos, yeah.
or whatever. And things like Sonos and allow you to have sound throughout the whole house. So it's difficult to have anybody understand the value of that thing. That's a thing you do because
They even
you
have
want it.
pot lights now that actually allows for music to come out of the pot
Oh, for
lights.
sure.
It's crazy.
I think
Shower
really where we've
heads.
gone is because the wireless age is so upon us, really what do we need to invest in all these wires in the walls and these servers and all these sort of things if I can clearly pick up my Sonos system with its 5 speakers and move it to the next house? And I think that's what's happened. Wireless has changed all that.
Now, we're going to make sure everybody knows how they can reach you. And of course, they can always go through us to make sure they can connect with you guys. But the other ones were laminated flooring, removing walls, which we talked about earlier, and of course, eliminating a bedroom. We would prefer if you added a bedroom.
Yeah.
And saunas and jacuzzis, which just goes along with that whole pool theme. It's just not something that you want. It doesn't mean necessarily anybody else is going to pay more for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Saunas are lovely, but usually they store things. When you go into somebody's house, you're like, oh, that's where they keep the
they're
garden
collectors,
furniture. Yes.
Right? Absolutely. That's what basements can become too, right? You can't
Exactly.
even walk through them anymore. All right, gentlemen, remind people how they can reach and contact you for hashtag hire a designer if they want to make sure they can get a hold
Well,
of you.
you know, that wonderful thing called Google, you just put in one of our names, you'll
I
find us.
know,
But
you're everywhere.
PelosoAlexander.com and glenandjamie.com, that would be a good place to start.
Yeah, that's probably the best place to start. Or you can call us at the office. It's 416-368-0320 or
Twitter or Facebook. Or
yeah, the website is pelosoalexander.com.
There you go. Excellent. You did say that earlier, didn't you?
We did.
Am I having a blonde moment?
Well, I wouldn't say blonde.
I'm
I would
surprised
say,
you didn't say that.
I was going to say that, but I thought, you just said that we were your favorite designers, and now I'm
Totally.
going to slag you. It didn't seem like a good
It
idea.
wouldn't go well. But if everybody knew us, they would totally know.
They'd totally know I would have
expect
gone
you to do
there.
that, for
Exactly.
sure. Love you, boys. And of course, we do have a grand opening that's going to be coming soon in terms of your new
A
office
new
space.
to the
Yep.
trade showroom and a new store and a new office.
All
There's
right.
lots of things on the go.
Yeah.
So we are going to make sure that we have an opening, we come there with our cameras, but more importantly, we're going to do some features in your new space. So
Oh,
cannot
great.
wait. That'll be next
Fantastic.
time.
We'll call it the Real Estate Roadshow.
Right.
Love it.